tumultuous radio show. Alright. Hello, Wisdomers. I'm back. Well, 2023 is almost finished. Yeah, it's just one of those years where I don't know, it's just like been a crazy year and shit like that for me. The heat wave's finally passed, which is really good. At least it's nice and cool in the night and get a good night's sleep, which is had a great sleep last night because you need that sleep. You need that 7 to 8 hours sleep every night. Because that 7 to 8 hours sleep, basically it determines how you function the next day as well. So that's very, very important to get that 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. The heat wave was just shit. Yeah, it felt last night it was just a bit cool. Obviously that's good. Yeah, because when you stripping blankets off and all that shit, it's you know, yeah, it's just like yeah, one of those things where yeah, I guess we just got to deal with it. I mean, I've said it before quite a fair bit that we just got to deal with the heat as it comes, and obviously where I am, we don't get the like bad humid days. Last week I'm talking was hitting 40 degrees, and not only that, in the evening it was just like it was hot and shit like that. So it goes to show that this is the weather that. Yeah, I guess you just got to put up with it, but at least now it's nice and cool. Can finally get a decent sleep in the night. But I wanted to talk about Optus and their reputation and what's happened to Optus, because people have lost trust in the telecommunication service. I know I definitely rant on a lot about telcos and all that, but the problem is the telcos need to start pulling their fingers out and start doing something for a change and start helping people. Telstra especially, like the resignation of Kelly Bayer Rosemarin, like obviously I said it before, like shame on Optus, because you just cannot be pissing people off. If you piss too many people off in telecommunication services, then you know you got to understand, well, what is going to happen as well. So ever since Optus got hacked and then they had that power outage for 12 hours, it's like Endeavour Energy last week, a power outage on a 40-degree day. Now that is just unacceptable, because there are pensioners who cannot take the heat. All right. and then they have to put up with the heat for no reason because of power outage. Now, this is what I don't understand. You're paying a hard-earned dollar to these companies, these bastards who just don't give a shit about you. They only want your money, and then, yeah, we're going to have a power outage for 12 hours, especially Optus. I mean, I used to be an Optus customer, and the problem is, since they've been hacked, I mean, this is the second time, I think people should walk away from them. I mean, you can't trust any telecommunications service anymore. Superannuation, the same problem too. I don't know, people having problems with super. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's my rant of the day as well. Yeah, but cricket's coming up. The Boxing Day tests next week. Hopefully, it'll be a good test match. Australia beat Pakistan on day 4. Nathan Lyon with his 500th test wicket. Wow, an amazing achievement. 500 test wickets. He's getting up there with Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath, Brett Lee. You know, that's a lot of test wickets to be taken, 500. And test cricket is harder. It's probably, in my opinion, the hardest form of the games to play. It's all about, partnerships, stamina, endurance, strategy in how you score on your runs. Um, getting the run rate to win for you with that run rate. Getting the ball to reverse swing, which is quite hard. That's why if you can get that ball to reverse swing in a test match, that'll start fooling the batsman as well. But no, it should be a great summer of cricket. I'm looking forward to the cricket. Go watch the Sydney Thunder next week playing the KFC 2020 Big Bash. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on that too. And the first test at the SCG, I'll be going to as well, so that'll be good. Be a good day out of the house. Um, yeah, I'll go to that. Enjoy the cricket. When at Optus Stadium in Perth, I think did they play on a drop-in pitch or something? Quite a lot of cricketers have complained about the drop-in pitch not deteriorating, which is understandable. Um, players prefer to play on a proper pitch, because it deteriorates, it's going to turn, it's going to crack. The problem with the drop-in pitches is they're made from the same type of grass. They're just made somewhere else, and then they drop them in. The only issues with them is they don't crack and deteriorate like when you see in a 5-day test match. You get all the foot marks around the batsman, the bowler. That's what makes the game good. And it can get boring. Like the old whacker pitch used to have a huge crack down the middle of it, and you could bowl a bouncer, and you didn't know where it was coming from. I mean, that pitch would just crack so much, the whacker. But no, that's cricket. Obviously, these venues play AFL, rugby league, other events, so they don't really have time to be creating a pitch from scratch. Rather, they just bring a drop-in pitch and then they can reuse the surface, which is understandable, and cutting back on costs as well. I know I've said it before about artificial turf in the NFL. The problem with artificial turf is you can roll an ankle, and the surface is very important. And I think the NFL is trying to work on something between a mixture of natural grass and artificial turf at the same time, because if they can bring it surface that's going to accommodate and cut back costs for the owner of the stadium, that's what they try and do. Obviously, players want to be playing on real grass or a natural pitch as well in cricket. But that's just the game. It's always changing. I mean, it's like the KFC Big Bash that gets called off because the water got under the covers and the groundsman didn't cover up the pitch properly and it rained and water gets in. Now that's pissed off a lot of people for a game to be abandoned because of a dangerous pitch. Now that's not fair and that's dangerous. There's nothing worse. You paid your hard-earned money to watch your cricket and it's a dangerous pitch. I just have my morning coffee at the moment while I get up. That's better. So I mean, that's I just want to see me summer of cricket be entertainment. Cricket's entertaining, all right. Hopefully these test matches is going to be a great test. I mean, the Australian cricket team played a lot of cricket this year. They've a lot of cricket. I'm talking a lot of cricket. Been in India, played test matches in India. Then they played a one-day series in India. I think then they played the Ashes as well. That was drawn, but that was a good match. England and Australia both wanted it bad, but it only got drawn because of it got washed out. Obviously, when a test match is a draw, it's a good game, but we do, you can't help the impact of weather in cricket. You've got to understand that, they can't really play cricket in the rain because it would damage the pitch. But hopefully it'll be a great, entertaining summer of cricket this year. And we see some, David Warner as well in the first test against Pakistan managed to score a century. And congratulations to David Warner for that. That was not easy to get that century. Played very well. He under a lot of pressure. I think this is his last summer of cricket. I think he will be retiring if I can recall. But yeah, he's done a lot of good for the game of cricket, and obviously love to see David Warner play more and score more runs for Australia. Opening the batting is one of the hardest jobs you can take on because you've been fielding for 6 hours out in the field, and then you've got to go and open. So David Warner, Usman Khawaja opening up, and then the night watchman puts his hand up just to get through the session. But what I didn't understand from Usman Khawaja was a pair of shoes protesting with Israel and Hamas. Again, players bringing politics into the game of cricket is just going to make people walk away from the game of cricket and stop watching, and I don't like that when sports as well want to tell people to wear LGBTQ logo on their uniform. So some players say no and stand themselves down, which is fine. The media just need to respect their decisions and respect what they believe in. Yeah, that's our sports these days. But speaking about telecommunication services, there was a man named Ian Lazar. Um, He's been fighting 9 years to prove that he's been innocent for a crime he did not commit. Now, he's actually filed for bankruptcy in the past. Ian, he spent 8 months in maximum security prison, accused of links to organised crime. However, the 28 charges that the police charged him with were withdrawn. And this has something to do with Vodafone. This is why I'm bringing it up, because it's telecommunication services. Now, the people who framed him, they used an unverified identification to use a SIM card in Ian's name. So Ian Lazar is having to sue Vodafone and the police force. Now, let me ask you this question. How could the police be deceived like this, and Ian has proved he's innocent for a crime he did not commit? He's not only that, he's had to fight these charges for 9 years. His reputation's been damaged. You know, why did the police force fail their investigation? And Ian spent $600,000 in legal costs, and plus that 2 years in court. Now, you tell me, and a former Senator, John Williams, also got involved, shamed Ian Lazar into this. A politician getting involved. Now, someone has obviously framed Ian Lazar, used an unverified SIM card in his name, and Ian was 40 minutes away from when this happened. So Ian turns up to work one day, and there's a detective there that just arrests him. And apparently the detectives were rude and didn't care for nothing. Now, this has cost the taxpayers money, thousands of dollars a year, to keep him locked up for no reason. He's lost his freedom in a maximum security jail. We call it jail. America call it prison, but you know what I mean. And, that time has been lost, which is, it's like the Kathleen Folbig, wrongly accused of a crime she did not commit in 2003. Thankfully, her charges were cleared. But not only that, the trauma it's left behind her, alright? She's lost 4 children, from natural causes of myocarditis, and yet the justice system failed. Now, how come? What has happened to Australia for a failing justice system, for framing people for crimes they did not commit, and they've locked them up for nothing? And you tell me why. Yeah, this, I don't know. I'm sick and tired of it. All right. I'm just fed up. All right. I'm really fed up with our justice system here not doing their job. Politicians as well getting involved in, the underworld, because they get to take their commission and cover things up with freebies and illegal supplies. But the politicians here are the first to want their tax money, and yet they're bludgeoning off the taxpayers. You read in the Daily Telegraph, politicians going on free trips to India to watch the cricket, taxpayers' money first class, Albo as well, travelling the world first class on a private jet, taxpayers are funding it. And so ask these politicians the questions: why are you allowed to get away with doing illegal things, but yet you're the first to chase people for their taxes? See, corrupt politicians should be in jail, and there are some that are doing time. and they should be stripped of their pension and just be, forgotten about. Because some of them think that they're immortal, they think they're another god. So they think, oh yeah, I'm higher in politics, I can do what I want. But eventually it'll catch up to corrupt behaviour, and it will get you, and they will fall very hard. And when they fall darn bloody hard, and their reputation will be fucked for the rest of their life. But this is, this is Australia for you guys. Like, this is, this is what we are dealing with. I know in America too, under Joe Biden, it's the same problem. These dirty bastards out there, they think they can just get away with everything. Yeah, they want to be a dictator, alright? And I'm fed up, There are people who are in poverty in Australia. We're a Western world. Kids that are going to school with no food are poor, and I'm serious. You would think, oh, Australia's supposed to be a rich country. There is poverty. And your politician just going around getting freebies and just bludgeon. Like, the last probably greatest prime minister, in my opinion, was Bob Hawke. I think Bob Hawke had a vision for Australia. Loved his beer. So do I. I love my beer. Did a lot of good for us. But that's this is our Australia that we live in now. The inflation problem, the cost of living crisis as well, that is going ahead. So what's next? What has happened to our Western world to get to this point where, they want to take away your free speech? And they want to take away your rights to freedom of speech. They want to regulate everything, tobacco, alcohol, which is not fair. But yet, again, politicians get freebies. They get all the luxury wine. Barry O'Farrell with a luxury wine as well. And people, we've just stand up. Last night I had a dream. I don't normally talk about my dreams on the show, but I had a dream that there was an election coming up, and had a choice to elect a politician and get rid of cancel culture. Now, if there's a politician out there that wants to stop cancel culture, I'm with you. Morning cafe and wisdom. But it goes to show that, again, the cost of living that we are dealing with. Farmers are actually selling beef cheap gold for a cheap gold coin kilogram, right? However, it's been price gouged to $20 in the supermarkets. Basically, supermarkets are selling the produce for $2 to $2.50 a kilogram. And the agricultural minister, Murray Watt, demands the supermarkets to cut the prices before Christmas because price gouging is illegal, and yet our supermarkets in Australia, corporations around the world with the cost of living crisis, are price gouging food and etc. Like it happened this year when inflation was up at 5%. I remember doing my shopping and things were just more expensive, and you're feeling like, well, how the fuck am I going to survive? Eat. Petrol $2 a litre. $2 a litre it was. And these are essential services, and our government know that, and some dickheads around there take advantage of Australians and taking advantage of your hard-earned money and price gouging, which is illegal. Yeah, the government, Albo was the first to point the finger when people were price gouging rapid antigen tests 2 Christmases ago when COVID was circling around, the Omicron variant. And it's like, the supermarket should be cutting their prices before Christmas. And if they can get beef down to $1 a kilo, well, wouldn't that be cheaper? Because they could sell it cheaper, not for $20 a kilo. Quote Daily Telegraph. It was an article I read in the Daily Telegraph, but I was just paraphrasing, summarising it for you. Obviously, yeah, because when a struggling family out there, especially during Christmas, is a time for giving and a time for gratitude, and yet for this to happen in our supermarkets in Australia is just shame. Shame on you. But the Reserve Bank of Australia, have got excuses. They want to jack interest rates up, send you basically broke. And with inflation, I'm going to tell you straightforward, it means your hard-earned money that you worked for, doesn't matter if you're a professional, you could be a lawyer, doctor, you're still going to feel it when you do your shopping for your essential items, your petrol, your electricity, your gas, your water. Water, if you're on tank water, that's cheaper. That's probably better if you're on tank water, I find. I'm on tank water. But yeah, electricity. What else? Internet, well, phone, that's essential service, the NBN, and yet politicians take advantage of that because they get their cut out of their GST, and they want more GST. They got too much GST. I'm sick of it because everything you buy is taxed. The only issue I have is when the people are price gouging to get greedy and make a big profit and take advantage of us is not acceptable, and it's un-Australian. I've seen it in the supermarkets, in Coles and Woolies. They'll have the original price. I'll use an example for a cup of coffee. $15. But what they'll do, they'll put a marketing sticker on top saying $15 down, down, down. They're deceiving you customers. And I think ACMA has cracked down on these bastards, and good on them for these activities, because you've got to eat. Alright? I don't know what's going to happen with the rental crisis in Australia. I don't know if people can afford a week's rent, because it's just unacceptable, and our politicians, okay, both Labor, Liberal, Independent, need to pull their fingers out of their backside and start doing something, because I'm fed up with politicians wanting to regulate everything, and yet they're stealing from us taxpayers. They want to regulate alcohol and tobacco. Now, hey, I'm happy to smoke my cigars. I love my cigars, and that's my treat. But as soon as you want to start taxing a small tobacconist, a TSG tobacconist, all right, and sending them broke, now that is not acceptable, because small businesses are the ones that keep the economy going, all right? I keep saying it to everyone, please support your small businesses as much as you can as well. It's just not fair that that they can think they can get away with it, bureaucrats who want to control everything, and the TGA and ATAGI. Oh man, they can all fuck off. man. I'm fed up. All right, I'm fed up with pharmaceuticals. Honestly, I'm just sick and tired of it. That's probably my rant of the week. I'll just say it as it is on this show because people need to hear the truth. You know, people are fed up with being told bullshit and a bunch of lies. Alright, the weather is 18.7 degrees Celsius, feels like 15.7 degrees Celsius. Low of 14 degrees Celsius, top of 26 degrees Celsius today. Partly cloudy, southwesterly, 17 kilometres an hour wind, 24 kilometres an hour gust, 60% humidity, 0 millimetres of rain since 9 a.m. yesterday. Rained the day before. Nice and rainy. Partly cloudy, slight chance of a shower along the coastal fringe. Near zero chance elsewhere. Winds south to southwesterly, 15 to 25 kilometres an hour, tending south to southeasterly, 20 to 30 kilometres an hour in the middle of the day. Then becoming light in the late evening. No fire danger rating. Sun, moon, and UV index 5:44 a.m. sunrise, 8:08 p.m. sunset. Waxing gibbous moon phase. Full moon, 27th of December is the next moon phase. 11 extreme max UV index. 8:40 a.m. 5 p.m. sun protection recommended. Tomorrow, sunny with showers, low of 14 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius, 0 to 1 millimetres of rain. Sunday, sunny with showers, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius, 0 to 10 millimetres of rain. Monday, sunny with showers, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 29 degrees Celsius, 0 to 15 millimetres of rain. Tuesday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 18 degrees Celsius, top of 33 degrees Celsius, 0 to 1 millimetres of rain. Wednesday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 34 degrees Celsius, no rain. Thursday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 37 degrees Celsius, no rain. At least it'll be nice and cool in the night, not too hot. So it sucks when it's hot and you can't get a good night's sleep. Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Queensland Premier, has decided to resign. I just got sick and tired of morning press conferences every fucking day. Oh my god, we're gonna close the border. Oh, then another one tomorrow. Oh, we're opening up the border. Oh, people from LGA can't come here, blah, blah, blah. I just got sick of it. Yeah, she gets on a plane and goes to Japan. That's not very fair, isn't it? Politicians want to tell us what to do, yet they hop on a private jet and piss off to Japan and back. So you tell me and get off, I'm over it. Like, name one honest politician. Obviously, you got your MPs; they're the bottom of the food chain, but I'm talking state, federal. Name one honest politician who has an honest, true vision for Australia. Um, Not a lefty greenie in the Liberal Party sitting on his ass preaching climate change, and yet he calls himself a liberal. They're not true liberals, and I can name, like, Brad Hazard was one. He wasn't a true liberal. Was he a true liberal, Brad Hazard? And there's Malcolm Turnbull. Was he a true liberal Prime Minister for Australia? No. They're Labor people in the Liberal Party. Yes, the Liberal Party is going for a rebuild. Like, it's the same thing with the Labor. Is there true Labor? Chris Minns, I've found he leans to a bit more conservative, I've found. Dominic Perrottet, I was questioning him when he was coming toward the end as a premier. Was he a true Liberal? Again, when there's people in the Liberal Party that want to start talking climate change and sustainability and global warming, I'm over it. I'm out. They're not true Liberals. For me, I think Albo's just got to start waking up and start doing something instead of hopping on his private jet. And going around to China and talking climate change, because again, Australian people voted Labor, same as Joe Biden. The Americans voted Joe Biden, false promises, and yet what's going to happen? Illegal immigrants, they'll start coming into Australia too, illegal immigrants. Tony Abbott was the one who turned back the boats, and good on him for that. But this is what I don't understand: when you get illegal immigrants coming to our country and they get free benefits, welfare benefits, there's a lot to be questioned. And I have a right to speak up as an Australian man. But Christmas is next week. I wonder what everyone's doing, what's on your Christmas to-do list. Also, too, for New Year's, what do you have coming up for your New Year's resolution as well? What's on your to-do list? But it's coming towards the end of 2023. Yeah, it's been for me, a wild, fucked up year so far. I'll do an episode about 2023. I like to do an episode at the end of the year reflecting on what's been happening in the world and everywhere. So I'll deep on that. It's this is life. And Ned Kelly, when he died, he said, "Such is life." So this is life. This is what we got to live with as well. My wisdom as well. But no, the podcasting journey has been amazing for me. How old's the show? 3 years now. I've been doing this. It's been wonderful. Just to hop on here on social audio platform and talk to the world. That's all from me today, guys. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Bye for now.